Ambazonia, national loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. And let the soul the hero who goes along with God.
Glory will rise and never to fall. Hearing a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation adored forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Is now called to order, and we will begin with a roll call. Bob Marley?
Yes, sir.
Abakwa?
Present.
Shankfor?
Yeah, present.
Auntie?
Here.
Tange?
Here.
Cousin? Cousin is
President.
okay. All right. I see that admin has joined us. Welcome. We'll be sure to add your name to the roll call.
And I would like also, please, let's come a little bit local, because to me, I think this is very, very important. Let us maybe take some few minutes to send this message to our people on the ground, because we know that La République comes in many, it's a snake with many heads. So we should be able to spot it once we see how they are coming in. Recently, I got a video from a young girl saying that it is the youths of the Southwest, accusing people from the Northwest of the ones who have fermented this thing, Ambazonia, to destroy the people of the Southwest. If anyone looks at that, listen to that video, you will have nothing but to say that this is La République again, trying to bring the knife amongst us. They started by putting that knife and saying Northwest, Southwest zone. We were never any zone. We were Southern Cameroon. And since they see our unity already showing, bearing fruits, they now go and build this audio and say that it is the youths of the Southwest that are trying to reclaim their territory. Please, let us address this, because when you hear things like that, you ignore it. They are like cancer. Eventually, they will eat the body, and the body will go. I hope that we can just address that.
Yeah, it is unfortunate when you keep hearing things like that. All this grumbling in the background, and sometimes we try to ignore it, but these are signs of the terrible things to happen. And if we are not careful, you can run into a terrible hysteria that will make people to turn against each other. And how much more divisive can we be? How much suffering again can we undertake? The message is clear that we are one. I think we need to understand that. Whether you are from the Northwest or the Southwest, we are one people. Yeah, some people may say we cannot use language. I'm sorry, you will use language. You will use English. That is our common heritage. That English that we started with, and it's going to continue tomorrow. It's not going to stop. I think that's the only singular thing that we have. Ground Zero has always demonstrated that each time you want to ridicule or to pitch the English Cameroonian against another one, it fails. We always rise up at one. How did the GC board come about? How did Fundi launch his party? There are many examples that we've demonstrated that we are one. And we live freely. The idiots coming up with that type of an audio don't understand that there are both our brothers up in the northwest and the southwest living together in both territories for ages without any major conflict. Why do you want to come and start a conflict between them? Oh, we will sell all their land. Oh, they should not be hired in this. They should not be hired in that. Let me tell you, see, we have even witnessed that for some time now, that Yaoundé will appoint, try to appoint a few son of the soils down here in the southwest into some position. That is a token. But if you now go to sensitive key ministries, Yaoundé in turns overwhelmingly sends Francophones to dominate all of them. Oh yes. If you look at every sector in here, even in both northwest, especially in the southwest, where revenue is being collected, they're all run by Francophones. If you look at land, the land down here, the former Francophone governors and duos, they own the land, they buy the land, and they start selling it. When CDC land was up for grabs, I don't know who made it up for grabs. They are the ones who grab all the land, and CDC is almost going to lose all this land. It's not a Northwest person buying that land. It's not. So this self-deceit to make them believe that, oh, their enemies are the Northwest and all that, it's all rubbish. Because in the final analysis, the Northwest, even and the Southwest, they own nothing. The Francophones, until we stop them, until we remove them from this territory. Let's not be talking. We have the agenda is very, very simple. You get rid of them. Let them leave this area. They are the cancer. They're the ones causing all the problems. So behind that audio is them, still to divide. But I'm asking myself, to divide what again? What you have not divided. But again, they're wasting their time because we are one. When you talk to every person, whether it's Northwest or Southwest, we want to be free. We want to govern ourselves. That is the truth. Anybody who is trying to deceive you to thinking that, oh, if you stay with the Francophones, you become something tomorrow, you're talking rubbish. Should not be deceiving themselves. And those who are even there, even as Anglophones, they are just there barely feeding themselves and their families. They have no powers. The Minister of Works has more powers than the Prime Minister. The Finance Minister has more powers than the Prime Minister. The Secretary General has more powers than the Prime Minister. I can go on and on and on and on and on. So what are we talking about? So it is self-deceit. So if you think you're going to come and poison people's mind by that type of logic, it does not work. Because in the end, until we're united in this common heritage that we all have, we'll have nothing. And that is why we're in this fight. We're in this fight to govern ourselves. We're not in this fight to govern Northwest or to govern Southwest. It's to govern all of us. That's why we're in this fight. It's unfortunate that when we see, and that is why I've always been saying that diaspora needs to unite. I keep using that word. Although, of course, some of you will say, fine, they're not actually divided. But you see, when you keep hearing things like this, the first thing I asked about Kwa before this meeting, I said, but is Sako really that bad? Why do I keep hearing they keep writing rubbish about him? This is a leader. Why do you keep writing rubbish about a leader? Now I'm hearing that if they see him and Chris Anu, they should beat them up. Oh, you see, these are the types of things that, we can't tolerate. Because those people are not fighting for a different cause. They are fighting for the Ambazonia to be free. Yes, if there is some misappropriation, well, fine. Investigate it and then punish the person. But don't exercise him. He remains one of you. And that should be the spirit.
That's right.
That should be the spirit. So I think that is unfortunate, but it will not work. My own attitude is that we should fight it tooth and nail and kill it. It's a stupid ideology advanced by people who do not know anything, who think they know. But our roots are so deep. We have families married. We have marriages. We have families, both Northwest and Southwest, all mixed up, and they are all our brothers and sisters. We will not change that. They live and work everywhere in the two territories. So it will not work. That's my own opinion about that audio.
Thank you. We started a little late. We have about 10 more minutes to go. Maybe after that, we can just go around and maybe your closing remarks. We don't want to stay too long.
Hey, just a quick thing, and I'll just close on that. Like, I think the issue about this fight is not a fight of personality. It's a fight about, and it's not even a fight against personality, against persons or personality. It's a fight against the system. And people should talk about institutions, not, individuals. I don't care whether you make 20 Cameroonian,
The types of things that, we can't tolerate, because those people are not fighting for a different cause. They are fighting for the Ambazonia to be free. Yes, if there is some misappropriation, well, fine. Investigate it and then punish the person, but don't exercise him. He remains one of you. And that should be the spirit.
That's right.
That should be the spirit. So I think that is unfortunate, but it will not work. My own attitude is that we should fight it tooth and nail and kill it. It's a stupid ideology advanced by people who do not know anything, who think they know. But our roots are so deep. We have families married. We have marriages. We have families, both Northwest and Southwest, all mixed up, and they are all our brothers and sisters. We will not change that. They live and work everywhere in the two territories. So it will not work. That's my own opinion about that audio.
Thank you. We started a little late. We have about 10 more minutes to go. Maybe after that, we can just go around and maybe your closing remarks. We don't want to stay too long.
Yes.
Right. So hey, just a quick thing, and I'll just close on that. Like, I think the issue about this fight is not a fight of personality. It's a fight about, and it's not even a fight against personality, against persons or personality. It's a fight against the system. And people should talk about institutions, not, individuals. I don't care whether you make 20 Ambazonians ministers out of 30. I really don't care. The question is, what are the institutions that guarantee that those ministers that are there would be working for the people, and what are the guarantees that the people could change these people, if they find out that they are not working in their, for them, the Ambazonians ministers out of 30. I really don't care. We should be fighting, to institutionalize democracy, freedom, to build better institutions that would allow us to advance the courses that we want. And one of the things that you will realize is that almost in things like this, in every struggle, every human struggle, there's always going to be, even in slavery, there are going to be house slaves and there will be field slaves. For those of us that are fighting this war, we are field slaves. They are house slaves who are like all these so-called ministers and some of the people who are benefiting from this, from the government, from the junta in Yaoundé. I don't even want to call that a government, because so that those people tend to want to preserve those kinds of that regime, because that regime almost invariably, that kind of system, who does it benefit? It benefits the people, the incompetent. It benefits the incompetent people, and it benefits the lazy. So, and lastly, I just think that when when people are talking about Northwest and Southwest, to me, again, I don't really care. I'm a Pan-Africanist at heart. But what does Pan-Africanism really mean? It means that the local people in those places have got to have the ability to control themselves. After all, you cannot build a bigger machine when all tiny little parts of the machines are not efficient enough to make the bigger machine become more efficient and more effective. And so for the even with Ambazonia, even with La République, once we free ourselves, the folks in La République should have the ability to come and live with us and live in our own country if they want, if they are persecuted for their political views, if they want to seek economic, if they want to seek economic empowerment that is not available in their own area. The only condition is you have to live by the rules, by the laws that are actually meant to galvanize and move the entire society forward. In other words, you have to obey the general will and not the will of the generous. Thanks. The question is, what are the institutions that guarantee that those ministers that would be working?
Admin?
Well, I think I just what I just want to say is that the tactics that Cameroon is using today has failed them woefully, and they did it at their worst when you had a person like Peter, how was he now, the governor of the Southwest, Peter Oben. Yeah, no, Ashu Peter Oben, who was Minister of Governor, brought the theory of Come No Go, and so on. What have they not done? They have done their worst. You see, so all what they are doing here is trying to replay the game, thinking that at one point they will make it. You see, when this struggle started, they quickly brought people like Munzu to replay the tripartite game they did. You see, in 1996, they wanted to replay it so that Monzo can come back and say, okay, fellow Ambazonia, fellow Cameroonians, now we've come now to the point where we implement the decentralization project we had during the tripartite. But it failed them. They struggled to bring in Cardinal Tubi, you know, behind the game. They struggled, but they saw that we rejected it because we had decided in 1994 that there will be no more Anglophone conference. And let everybody know there will be no more. We made it very clearly, and we told Cameroon that despite the fact that you are talking, you are saying that we had federation, which was actually a fake federation, but we could do that if your government decides to bring that as a policy, discuss it in parliament. They did not even. So from there, we said in 1994 that it's no more. We are now moving towards sovereignty, and that is it. So no matter what game they're bringing about, Northwest, Southwest, they're wasting their time. They saw how the people are determined. So for me, when I listen to those things, I just delete them because we've heard that since far back from the 80s. We've heard that, and it will not work. So we just ask our people to keep on holding firm. Victory is on our side. We are working on the right side of history. The international community is already coming towards us. We should realize one thing in diplomacy is that in diplomacy, they will want to exhaust all the peaceful means.
Yes.
Before they can come in with any military intervention. Because in the mind of most Ambazonians, they just believe that, oh, why did the United Nations not bring in peacekeepers? Why is America not coming with that military? No, they cannot do that because they will want, first of all, to exhaust all the peaceful diplomatic means. If Cameroon does not accept it, be assured that there will be military intervention. And Cameroon will leave that territory no matter what they do. Thank you.
The only thing I can say, I'll go back to what Chamfo talked about unity. We are here in the diaspora. I think the people on ground zero are looking up to us because we are speaking in the confines of air-conditioned room and also making all this accusation that there are thieves here and there. All these leaders, they are fighting for one purpose, to liberate Ambazonia. I would challenge any Ambazonian who is out of the country, instead of trying to make non-Ambazonian be your friends and pull them in so that they can walk the street and carry our message to their leaders, so that they can lobby on our behalf. We are busy turning the guns. We are very good at talking to ourselves. If we Ambazonians, if just every Ambazonian, you can talk to your friend, your colleague, your church member, anyone that works with you about Ambazonia, and just imagine that if we are organizing a demonstration, we have the whole wide world, even just 100 stand in front of us. That is powerful. But you see the energy that we spend on actually insulting and calling other people thieves and all whatnot. I think we Ambazonians should really put the struggle ahead, not personality. I really think that we should support every leader and not wash our dirty linen in public. If we have to prosecute them for wrongdoing, we do that, and not stand on top of the hill and point and accuse somebody and already pass judgment that this person is guilty. That is not the democratic way that we want for Ambazonia. So I think that this conversation has really enriched myself, and I hope that our viewer and our listeners out there can really ruminate over this and see how we can free Ambazonia. Over to you, Uncle.
Yes, thank you. I would simply like to first thank everyone for a wonderful conversation, which I certainly see, and I think people should see as further reasoning for the need of independence based on United Nations General Assembly 1514. That is further supported by United Nations General Resolution A-Res 45/130, as well as A/49752. The government of Cameroon is not in compliance with the Charter of the United Nations. Further, the government of Cameroon's marginalization and genocide that we showed in today's meeting of people of Southern Cameroon is in violation of international law. So I certainly agree with Eric that it is the future where
Bob Marley.
this needs to be.
Yeah, Bob Marley.
And I just want to thank everyone. Nothing further. We are adjourned. We'll meet again in a couple of weeks. And thank you, everyone.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonia, special loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the hero who fought along with Yahweh.
Glory will rise and never to fall. Hearing a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this